Right, this week in the news, we also the ODM party and CORD rather having a retreat in Manzoni, where they went to, among other things, strategize and chart a way forward for 2017 and also deal with some housekeeping matters. And today we have the director of elections in the ODM party, director of election and campaigns in the ODM party, is also the Suna East Member of Parliament, Junet Mohammed. He's here with Mutegi Njao to discuss that. Remember, if you want to get in touch with us, the hashtag on Twitter is Power Breakfast, and you can send your SMSs with your questions, views, and comments on 22422, and Mutegi Njao will be able to ask the same to Honorable Junet Mohammed. I'll leave it to them. Good morning.
Yes, Asante.
How are you?
Thank you. I'm fine.
You're good?
I'm very fine.
How is Manzoni?
Manzoni was good. We had a successful retreat for 2 days, from Sunday to Monday at 4 o'clock on Monday.
On a serious note, can you tell us exactly your intention of going there and what you achieved?
Our intention was our intentions were to do a review of our performance from 2013 up to now, midterm review of performance, and we looked at many things at the party level, at the parliamentary level, and general aspects of our performance of our party for the last 2.5 years. So we were doing a review, analysis of how we performed for the last 2 years and the way ahead.
The way ahead?
Yes.
And that's what I'm interested in. You're strategizing to see how you can market your presidential candidate so that he can win this time around in 2017.
No, you see, to discuss now a presidential candidate as early as now is not very important. What is important is to perform our duties and functions as an opposition party, on how to play our role in the nation building as an opposition. That is the main focus and agenda that we are discussing. Not only about elections only. Elections will come at their own time, but we are preparing for it also.
You are also supposed to have discussed things to do with your ordinary party elections, which have not been held since you remember the Kasarani fiasco. That was part of the agenda, to discuss about grassroots elections and strengthening the party. Grassroots.
You see, the Kasarani elections were elections to fill the national offices, but the elections that we are intending to do now, from the end of this month, are elections for the grassroots elections, filling the positions at the lower level, and that's the issue that was discussed. And these elections were held in, I think, in 2011. So after every 5 years, they do normally grassroots elections, and this is the only party that has done grassroots elections for, I think, for the last 10 years or 15 years. The other parties, they never do grassroots elections. They don't have officials at the grassroots. And now we have even come up with a new model of elections in our party, and those are among the issues that we are discussing, where we want to have county party and national party, and they have changed the format of the representation at the grassroots level, where we are going now to start from the polling station to the ward, to where now the constituency becomes the branch, and then we are going to have the county officials, and then we come and do the national elections in Nairobi. So we are going to have, unlike the previous one, the previous setup where we used to have the party at the village and at the sub-county, at the ward level, sub-location, then ward, then constituent. So there is a new format that the party has come up with, which we were rolling out. So they have identified 7 counties to start with, end of this month. Then after that they will roll out another 7 or 10. By October, end of October or November, they will be done with the whole country. So he is the pace setter. This party sets pace for other parties to follow, as usual. So that's exactly what they are doing, and they are setting. You'll see other parties now copying our format and saying that we also want to do as ODM has done at the grassroots elections, and we are doing what is known for us, to us.
But you have postponed the elections a number of times. the grassroots elections?
No, it was only postponed once.
Yes.
It was supposed to be done last month, end of last month, and they were postponed for valid reasons. One of them, some of the counties that were involved had issues like Wajir. It was end of Ramadan, so they said we need some more time to organize ourselves. There were places like Vihiga, there was this rights circumcision. They said we need another month, so there are valid reasons that, but it's not.
So when exactly are they going to be held?
End of this month, 29th of this month, up to 6th of September, for the first 7 counties.
Okay. For you to do elections, you have to do grassroots membership recruitment.
Yes.
Is that taking place?
That has been going on for a long time. It's not one-off. Exercise where we say like IEBC we are only registering people this month. No, our offices in every county have been doing registration of members. There is a whole department, a whole directorate in the party head office that deals with that program of registration of membership and recruitment, which has a whole director. So she's called Rosemary Kariuki. She has been doing that work, and she has been registering members in every county. It has been going on. It has been a continuous process.
I don't understand, because if you look at newspapers today, the Electoral Commission is saying only about 80,000 to 1,000 people have registered to vote. Why would ODM members be motivated to register as members?
Why
would they be motivated to register for membership?
Why will they be motivated?
What would motivate them?
No, they want to exercise their, it's a constitutional right for you to be a registered voter in the country.
Most Kenyans, particularly young people, are thinking about bread and butter.
No.
Bread and butter things, not about...
Not really. The bread and butter is dictated by the kind of leadership you have in the country. So it's your constitutional right to register as a voter. And it's the responsibility of the electoral body to provide, good environment for people to register. So I think the laxity you are seeing in the registration is because IEBC is only doing at the moment registration of persons, of voters at their offices only, at the constituency offices. But if they had rolled out properly to different centers, some of the polling stations or centers are very far from the offices, where maybe a distance of 30-40 kilometers, where someone has to incur some kind of expense to go and visit the offices to register. But if they roll out properly, and not like the other time where 5 polling stations were sharing 1 BVR machine, if they roll out properly and have proper equipment on the ground, you will see the turnout will be big and people will register in big numbers.
There is also the issue of your Secretary General.
Yes.
It was raised there. I went to the press. Your leader, party leader, did apologize that your Secretary General did not attend because he was unwell.
Yes.
But there was expression by certain members of Parliament and people who attended that it looks like he's not very consistent in attending meetings.
No, he is. He is very consistent because we had a meeting before that at our party headquarters at Orange House, the Central Management Committee. He was present. In the last NEC meeting we had, he was present. So let us not read a lot and the party. He called the party leader himself and gave his apologies and said he's indisposed. So I think we are reading too much into we are splitting hair. I think if somebody said he was not feeling well, you just have to accept it as it is until the contrary is proven.
There was also a contention about members and officials who had defected, who had left the party, whether they shouldn't have been allowed or not allowed to run for seats for office.
I think that one the party has given its position on it after deliberating in one of the organs of the party, and they gave up their position and said they issued an amnesty, and they said everybody is welcome back to the party. You can participate in the elections, and the vetting will be done by the election board, the National Election Board, that has the mandate to conduct the elections. So that is the position of the party, that you are welcome. You can come back and participate in in the party.
There is a nation parliament which involves all parties, all the parties, including yours. The suggestion that the Electoral Commission wants the party list given some time, so that people don't party hop after losing nominations.
Yes.
And some MPs, they say, you know, if you are rigged out nomination through your party, you should be allowed to hop. That is not very good for democracy.
That's right. No, you know, the IEBC has given a raft of measures, a raft of proposals on how they want the next elections to be conducted.
Yes.
And they have proposed many amendments to the electoral law. The party is looking at it. The party secretariat and the party legal committee, they are looking at those proposals. And the coalition also is looking at those proposals. I think in the next 2 weeks, the party and the coalition will have given their counter proposal, whether they're in agreement with the proposals given by IEBC, or they want to propose new measures, or they want, you know, they will give their positions in the next 2 weeks. That's what they said. And they're looking at it, and they're analyzing what the proposals that were given by IEBC to the National Assembly.
Well, what happened to the push for a referendum?
Oh, it's going on very well.
Well, nobody talks about it anymore. Now we are talking about sugar.
The big thing, no, sugar is also equally very important. But that is the next big thing that is coming up. At the moment, I think as we have been briefed very well at Manzoni, it's one of the briefs that we got, the signatures are already there. They are being
ready for some time.
No, now they are there, I can assure you. They are verifying. You know, verifying 1 million signatures is not an easy task, Mr. Mutegi. They have to be fed in a system in a way that a format that you can present to IEBC. You have to, you know, make sure that those registered voters are valid. They're in the register of IEBC. There are many things to be looked at. You have to counter-check their registration with the IEBC register, with the political party registers, and such kind of things. All that's happening now, and I'm sure by next month the matter will go to will go to a very good move. We'll have a very good move by next month.
In your estimation, when can that referendum take place, if it does at all?
We are anticipating to have a referendum in May next year. That is our proposal. That's our plan. Considering
that is having an election before the elections.
No, referendum is not an election. You know, Kenyans get, Kenya. It's only in Kenya where referendums are so much contested. In other developed countries, in other developed democracies, referendum is just an opinion. You know, the citizens of those countries giving an opinion on an issue that affects them. It's not an election. Election is where, you know, you have to choose one leader and drop another leader and such kind of things. This one is something that is presented to the citizens, and they are told, this is what we feel is good for you people. What is your opinion? Some will say, yes, we agree with you, this is good for the country. Some will say, no, this is not good for the country. If the ones who think this is good for the country win, it becomes the law. If the ones who, it is dropped. So it's only in Kenya where referendum is made a matter of life and death. And I think what is contained in the proposal of the proposed bill is some of the best things that this country can have. You know, it is for the good of the country. It is some of the things that maybe were not captured properly in the constitution that was promulgated in 2010. And if they were captured, they want to be made now better. After wearing the shoe, you know where it pinches you. So now you want to make your shoe more comfortable. So let's not look at it at party lines. Let's not look at it at divisions in terms of regions and such kind of things. The bill contains things which are good for our country, and people should view it that way. So we expect the process to begin next month, and we expect to have a referendum in May 2016. It's a business of 1 or 2 days. You just walk into a polling station and agree with the proposal or disagree with the proposal, and life will continue. And after that, we'll have an election in 2017, 5th of August, God willing, to decide on the leadership.
Somebody says, I ask you, why don't you have cabinet secretaries? Who are they intending to elect as their flag bearer? Some Lawrence from Meru.
Okay. She's saying, why don't we have cabinet secretaries?
I mean, government in waiting. Why don't you have, you know?
Those are some of the proposals that were discussed, and there's a retreat that is coming up for the now coalition.
Shando cabinet.
Yes.
Why don't you have a Shando cabinet?
Those are some of the issues that were discussed, and those are the proposals that will be forwarded now to our General Assembly, like the UN. That's the coalition. You know, the coalition retreat, which is coming up at the beginning of next month, I think, will be discussed.
Some people feel that the reason why you are postponing the grassroots election is not a fear of infiltration. That some people who are not genuinely ODM might go for elections and get elected and they sabotage you from within. Is that fear founded or unfounded?
You know, those are the risks of doing politics in Africa. In other countries, if you belong to a certain party, you stick to that certain party, until you disagree with them fundamentally, then you go to another party. The risks of infiltration is there, but that cannot stop us from doing our business. There are mechanisms to guard against that. So I can assure you the grassroots elections will go on smoothly, and it will be concluded in the appropriate time. So, and life will move on, and we will have a stronger, more vibrant party in the country than any other party, and more vibrant coalition than any other coalition.
Let's now go to the hot subject of the alleged deal between Kenya and Uganda about the importation of sugar,
yes,
and the export of dairy milk and beef to Uganda. Your party, and particularly your leader, is completely opposed to it, suggesting that importation is weakened, it's economic sabotage. Other people feel completely different, and there are figures and facts to show that what your party is doing is just doing politicking for 2017, trying to arouse the people to hate the government so that you can get votes in Western Kenya.
I think first we have to set the record straight. My party leader and my party and my coalition leaders are not opposed to doing business with Uganda. What they are opposed to is doing business with Uganda that may be detrimental to the welfare of Kenyans. You know very well that I myself represent sugarcane farmers. In my constituency, there are people who farm cane. You know that sugarcane farmers have serious problems, and very little investment have been done on sugarcane farming since independence. And the only factories that you'll find in the west of Kenya are sugar mills. It's very rare to find any other factory in the west of Kenya. It's all the chimneys that you see are only from sugarcane mills and factories. So it's a very, very serious, important matter. So what they are saying is that they are not saying that we are opposed to doing trade with the region or with the within the East African region or within the COMESA or within Africa. But what they are opposed to is a skewed trade agreement that may favor the other country and impoverish the lives of the people, of the citizens of this country. You know, when we have not addressed the issues of sugarcane farming, the inputs, the fertilizers, the fertilizer, how the land is tilled, the policy towards the agricultural subsector of sugarcane, and then you import sugar, cheap sugar, chances are high that those factories are going to die. The privatization that was supposed to be done has taken ages. It's never taking off because, I don't know, because it is of vested interest or anything. So, and CORD will not apologize, or ODM will not apologize for politics in Western Kenya. That's the bedrock of their politics. You know, those are people we represent. I represent people who are farming sugarcane, so I can't apologize for politicking for them in terms of defending their rights and in terms of defending their welfare. That cannot, there are no apologies to be made for that.
But, well, the argument is that you are addressing the wrong question.
Yes.
If sugar industry in Western Kenya is dragging, no investment has been done. That's not the problem of imports. It is a fact that since 2004, the East African Community presidents signed protocols to allow free movement of goods, and that sugar from Uganda has always been imported in this country. Not only from Uganda, from Zambia, Swaziland, all over, even Brazil. So imports will always be there. The fact that the industry in Western Kenya is not developing is not because of imports.
Listen, when did COMESA come into place? The COMESA trading bloc came into place long time ago.
Yes.
But there have always been measures and safeguards that have been put in place to safeguard the sugar industry in Kenya. Reasons being, they knew very well the sugar industry in Kenya is not competitive in the COMESA region.
And they have always asked for extensions. They have always got
yes. Now,
yes.
Why those extensions were being put in place with the hope that new measures will be put in place in the sugar subsector to make it more competitive and more vibrant. Until that is achieved, it is the responsibility of the government of the day to protect that subsector from undue competition from other countries. Otherwise, you will close. When you open the floodgates and say imports can come, even if it is to work on the deficit that the country has, most likely the sugar mills will close because they are not competitive as we speak now. So until the government comes up with a policy on a raft of measures to make the sugar sector competitive and more vibrant, you don't expect to open the gates for other people to import sugar. There are other products that you can import. If it's about trade and balance with Uganda, the other products Uganda have that you can bring, which might not be as serious as sugar. You know, let us not look at the political aspect of the matter. Let us also look at the economic aspect of the matter and the region that economic activity
the economic
takes place.
aspect of the matter is this. The only amount of sugar you can import from Uganda is not more than maybe 100,000 tons, which is what the extra.
That is theoretical.
No, that's the figure.
That's a theory that you are selling to Kenya.
The statistics practically, how much Uganda produces, how much does it consume, what's left for export. And the story is that the fact is that if you take all Uganda.
Let me ask you a question. The acreage of land that is under sugarcane in Kenya is far much bigger than the acreage of land that is in sugarcane in Uganda. What is making Uganda have surplus sugar to export that Kenya cannot have? And the amount of acreage of land to produce sugarcane is bigger in Kenya as a country.
But we are not producing that sugar. That's why we have a deficit.
Why can't
you have agreed we have a deficit.
Yes.
The status quo now is that we have shortage.
Why don't we focus on how to make this one more productive and get surplus to supply to other countries than using the window of deficit to say that we can get cheap sugar from another country? Why don't we say we are putting measures in place?
Let me ask you, is it a fact that we import sugar now? Is it a fact, whether Kenya made a deal with Uganda or not, isn't it a fact we import sugar?
Sometimes we are.
Not sometimes, every year, every time.
Yeah. When was the last time you used sugar which was imported yourself?
I don't know, I don't take sugar.
That tells you that you have been using sugar manufactured locally, isn't it? When was the last time
you refusing the fact that we have a deficit? Haven't you said we have a deficit maybe of about 400,000 tons?
Yeah, we may have a deficit. No, yesterday the Minister of Agriculture said we have a deficit of 110 tons.
Okay.
Not 400 tons.
Okay, we have a deficit of 100 tons. Where do we expect it to come from?
No, we can, once we are sure of the factories and the production on our side, then as a country we can look at the deficit now and say, you know, we are worried about the issue of saying let's import sugar because we have a deficit, and you are doing nothing about the sugar companies that you have, the farming, the sugarcane farming and those things.
But
they should go concurrently.
That is what, instead of personalizing the matter, That is what your leaders, opposition and government should address.
That's true, but nobody has personalized. Nobody has personalized the matter.
You have personalized.
How?
Well, your leader.
Yes.
Saying the problem with sugar industry was caused by Ruto. Ruto saying the problem with sugar industry was caused by Raila. People saying, oh, the president went there because it was a private company to sell.
What dragged the debate to that level?
Politicians, the political class, you guys, all of you.
The court demanded that we should be told what is the deal that the government made in Uganda.
The government says they didn't make any deal.
Yes. When we are at that point, you go to sugarcane farmers in Western, you tell them, why are you talking to somebody who's just a Muganga in town here? You go tell them, why are you talking to somebody who's Kitendawili here in town here? That is now when you personalize the subject now. Before that, court and my leader were addressing issues. They were saying, we want to know what is contained in the deal that the president and his entourage went and did in...
They didn't say they wanted to deal, they condemned it.
No, they said it should be made public. They demanded it to be made
outright condemnation.
No. But you know, condemnation is just part of
condemnation of import of sugar.
If you see
when you condemn import of sugar, and if you have always imported sugar, what is that?
No, you see, condemnation does not mean that it just says that you disagree with the matter. When you condemn something, you are just disagreeing with the matter.
Economic sabotage.
That is according to their views. So it is you to prove to the contrary. As the government, you're supposed to say, no, you are wrong, you're mistaken. This deal is good for the country, and this is what we signed, and this is what we agreed. And you tell the opposition plus the country elaborately how it is. You don't, when somebody condemns, I can even go to parliament today and condemn a matter. But another member can stand up and say, no, Junet, you're mistaken. This is the way things are.
That's what the government says.
But you don't personalize issues.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs says, not at all. No deal has been signed, but there was a general agreement that that can be done, and they were supposed to form a committee.
No, there were different views that were coming from the government. Part of the government said there was no deal that was signed. One part of the government said there was a communique that was issued, and those matters are contained in that communique. Some part of the government said I should get sugar from Uganda than getting sugar from Brazil. So those are three different views from the same government. So if the government had issued only one statement and said, this is how things are, then it will have made the matter better than it is today. And court has never, and my leader has never personalized this matter. I am sure of that, I can assure you. He was only addressing, let me tell you something. The opposition, as you see, is part of the governance of this country. The opposition,
I agree with you.
Yes, the opposition is not like the opposition of yesteryears. This opposition is funded by exchequer, but it's funded by government taxes. We receive, however small it is, we are not getting the right amount, but we are funded by taxpayers' money through the political parties' fund. So, we are just trying to play our role as an opposition and do oversight on government. But even today, if the president goes to Ghana and does a deal with Ghana in the interest of the country, we'll still ask him, Your Excellency, you went to Ghana and agreed on this and this with Ghana. Tell us here the details of what you agreed. It's normal.
That's normal.
Yeah, that's normal. It should not be taken out of context.
And the concern of many
and the court, I told you from the beginning, will not apologize for standing for the interest of Western Kenya people. That is the bedrock of our support. We will not. That you can take it to the bank and take a loan with it.
Yes.
No apologies. All of that side, Kakamega to Migori.
One does not expect you to apologize.
No apologies.
But give right information.
Yeah, that's what we are saying. But you see, the right information, you get it through exchanging. When you say, I want this...
information is that we have continued, we have imported sugar, and we will continue importing sugar, whether from Uganda or from elsewhere.
You know us, we are not opposed to importing sugar.
So you can't tell your farmers, the problem you have is not because of import. It is that the government has not invested in improving the sector.
No, the problem, the import now becomes part of the problem. When you have not addressed the issues facing the farmers and the sugar companies in that region, and you import sugar, so what do you expect? What do you expect to happen? So it will make a bad situation worse.
So when your leaders suggest, therefore, you should boycott milk from certain companies, how does that help?
No. You see, those are You know, let's not get into peripheral matters now. You know, we are discussing serious issues of sugarcane farming and sugar and such things. You know, don't go to, you know, peripheral matters like, you know, those are peripheral matters.
Is it peripheral?
Yeah, those are peripheral matters.
Thank you very much, Mheshimiwa. We've run out of time. Let's see whether that boycott will take place and be effected. I think it's a lot of hogwash.